Hey everybody, DayTraderRockStar, and a very special video today. HPS watch list for the week of June 13th. It would be Monday. It's Friday, of course. It's when we do the watch list. I bring you all the new divergence setups. We pick out the best bets and everything. What a week. We've had the market actually starting off on a down note today. We actually been shorting the market the last 2 days, and we've been catching a nice little profit yesterday on our VIX. And yesterday we also took some puts, and we just took those off this morning, right at close to the open here. So our puts are out, but again, I wanted to come in here with a very special video today because, like I said, normally we've been focusing on these great divergent setups, and to give you an example of that, some of the recent setups here, like Boeing, Praxair. Let's take a look at these. Here is your Boeing. Boeing had this beautiful wedge, a little wedge pattern, but the divergence was the key, and a big pop out of that, and we were able to capture that. The Praxair was another key one, which was Dynamite. It was a nice divergence here, and again, a nice pop. It's actually holding up pretty good strength still. But the market here going into a little flag here. We're going to do this setup here. And if you're listening to this video for the first time or not familiar with day trading radio, myself, DayTraderRockStar, I pretty much preach this stuff 24/7 on the show. Whenever we're on the show, I mean, it's so important to pay attention to these setups. So I want to do a little experiment today because I know that we need to let the market here reset a little. There is some short setups coming up, but there's not many long setups yet, and I want these to reset. So some days we won't have as many divergent setups going into the beginning of next week. I'm still going to get that research out, but I also want to make a point of starting off the morning with a challenge. I have a little more time on Fridays to really concentrate on the futures, and we've been focused on our new Apex futures platform, apexfutures.com. ApexTrader.com, but we trade the futures on that. And so I want to actually highlight to that, and we're going to make a little challenge. I want to pretend us, hey, we're Jason Bourne or something. We need to make some money today. That's the goal. Our criteria, I mean, normally we could say it's probably better to trade with more than two or more contracts, and we're going to be talking about the S&P futures today. And right now we just rolled over to the September contract, so we're going to be talking about the S&P futures, emini futures contract, and we're going to be trying to, trading up to two contracts, typically maybe one or two. We're trying to make $500 today. Just saying, all right, we need to do that. We have our $500 day trading margin on the Apex futures. We only have maybe we have a couple $1,000s in the account. I want to make $500 today, so I'll probably be trading 1 to 2 contracts. Nothing really too severe here, but we're going to be taking them off of the RamBot signals. Now the RamBot signal just gave me a signal right now, and you might have heard that in the background, but I want to focus on that also. I want to show you some examples of when that happens, and we're only going to take those setups. I want to show you the proper way to trade, proper technique, and a very easy way to hopefully make $500 today. And that's going to, that's a challenge. It's a challenge to see if we're going to do that. So market actually pushing back down here, and again, it doesn't matter if we have a sell side divergence or buy side divergence, or a RamBot to the ups. 5 minute or 1 minute, we analyze it. I'll show you what I do for every trade. How I go through my multiple time frames. The first thing, we have to be alerted to it, and when we have that alert, then we start to go through the process. One thing I want to start setting up here is the platform here. Now I'm going to show you a couple different things. This is the Apex platform, and I can't extend the screen, but I can move it around. Apex Trader platform, and we could actually enable chart trading on here. So what I want to do is just right click, go to trading, and go to trade mode, and that's going to open up a little area over here where you could set up your parameters and criteria. We'll start off with that 2 contract, profit and loss for the day, and then we also understand that this also comes with a nice DOM, and the DOM is let me bring that up on the screen here. I just brought it over here. depth of market. So you're actually taking a look at the depth of the market. Excuse me. And that's what this looks like. And you can see it has a little volume profile on the side. You have your bracket orders that you could set up. Let me bring this back up on the screen. I'm going to bring this up here so you can actually see everything about it. Now I made the bracket very small, but we extend that out. I just want to make sure you could see what the order looks like. So I usually have a sell factor. If it's a buy, whenever we look at an entry off of the divergent setup, depending if we have a 1 minute or a 5 minute, I typically, if we're using two cars, put our first exit or first profit area at 3 ticks, and then we move the stop at the break even and manage the other one. Kind of a manual, we'll manage it just watching the stochastic rotation. In some cases, if we're just doing one contract or you just want to get out of the whole thing, then you could actually do the same thing. You could just set that 3 tick. I think 3 tick is the golden area right there. Anything more, you kind of sometimes get these very choppy markets, and you're not getting a perfect entry. You could look at your chart and say, well, I'm going to get it at 2089, I'm going to get it at 90. No, that's not going to happen. You're going to get it at 2089 and a half. You're not going to get up to 2090. You're lucky to get a quarter, a tick on this. So, you have to be understanding of, it has to be focus. Your focus got to be razor sharp. The keys are, getting those alerts, and those alerts are going to be coming in on the dashboard. So let me show you that fast right here. All right, remember the dashboard is for members of Day Trading Radio, so not everyone will be familiar with that. But this is the look at the dashboard here. We have our trade alert box where all the trades are taken, our news bots, our HPS setups, when you alert you of an HPS setup. And the HPS setups are basically the core stocks that we set out each week that fit the criteria of a high probability setup, which is typically, as you can tell, what's been working great for us is these divergences and multiple indicator setups. We have setups that combine different things that we watch. Maybe a tag of a trend line with a reversal candle, definitely the divergence, any type of divergence, any type of pattern recognition. It all gets added into the big formula there, and we spit out the answers. And that's what we trade, and that's what the HPS is about. And we like to automate that by putting those into the HPS site, and then it gives you an alert when that target trigger and basic entry triggers are hit. You'll get an automated email and an alert in the trade alert box. So it kind of keeps you up to date of any setups. But in this case, we're going to be concentrating on the RamBot down here, and the RamBot is the lower portion of that dashboard, and you can see buy signals. You could change it. Up here, you can only take 5 minutes. You can only wait for 5 minute setups, or you could just, that's how it looks like when there's nothing there. So if you just want 1 minute buy signals, click on that. If you want 1 minute and buy and sell, click on that. If you want the 5 minute, click on that. If you just want 5 minute, get rid of the other ones. The 5 minute will be in darker red and darker green versus the lighter green and the lighter red for the 1 minute. So we're going to be focused on those today, also with the visual divergence now. So that's where we're going to start off here. Markets here at the lows, and like I said, what I'm waiting for is an alert, and see what we can get from that. All right, so the first thing we want to do is just catch up because, introducing the video and what we're going to try to do today, I'm already missing some of the alerts. So let's just go back and fill in. And what you normally will see on the show is me, filling in some of the circles and squares. Squares represent sell signals, and circles represent buy signals. The thicker lines represent 5 minute or 1 minute versus the light line, which is a 1 minute. So at 10:07, we'll go backwards here. Let's go to 10:07. 10:07, we had a buy signal. So right here, we had a buy signal. Now, it did push down a little further from that, but basically looks pretty good. Before that, we had a 9:55 sell signal. 9:55 sell signal, 1 minute. So let's go back here, 9:55. 9:55 right here. Again, a little, not at the exact top on that pivot move down. And again, we always kind of stress that first half an hour is a little bit trickier because of the chop and the potential chop that's going on. Now, as things set up here, remember our 5-minute time frames usually give us bigger moves. So that was about it. And then we had a buy signal right here at 11:38. So it's actually been keying off on the signals. Short-term 1-minute signals have been really dead on, considering there's not much movement today, and every little bit has been, pretty much marked by either a buy, little sell, buy, and now we're just waiting for the next one. But we have not taken any trades yet, so we're going to wait for the next one to set up, kind of analyze it, and then move from there. Another thing we just want to look at before this whole thing goes, first thing I do in the morning is take a look at that 5-minute time frame, especially getting into that first hour of the trade. We take a look at it. We know the relationship between that 5-minute rotation and momentum. Typically, you start to see that that price move with momentum. So if you're starting to come off the lows here and we're starting to see that change, there's a good shot that you want to be on the side of the momentum building here. So actually, that 1-minute divergence with an oversold 5-minute, which turning back up, was another key to kind of maybe even hold that trade a little bit longer. As you can see, a little bit more upside. The 60-minute time frame, doesn't give us much today. I looked at the possibility of a slight divergence maybe happening with the 60 if we could actually start to turn back up. We took out the lows. That does have that appearance on that, but nothing to go by because it is a little gap down here. We have to see where we go with that. All right, so we just got a sell signal here on the RamBot, and I'm suspicious of it. So, I prefer to take what we call the visual divergence where we start to see that. So it requires us to take that little pop higher and fail to go. But you can see the stochastic here on the bottom here, the 9.3 here, is kind of get a little weaker and push back down. So we had a buy signal, sell signal, buy signal. We just came in with a sell signal. It doesn't look that bad. There's a pretty good candle right here above us, 94. We could actually take that trade and put that stop in there. Now again, me talking too much about it does sometimes give you an waste of an opportunity there. You have to act fast on this. You definitely have to act fast when you're talking about that 1-minute time frame. The 1-minute time frame, we're only looking for a few ticks. So once you get that, you want to be in and out. Take the advantage of it. If there's possible more downside or upside, we figured that out pretty fast by just looking at where we are. Here's your 5-minute time frame. It's actually pushed back up into an overbought level. So this could actually start to turn over here, rotate back down. This right up against the 20. Everything here looks like a better short than a long at this point. So that sell signal is probably perfect. And you can see we're starting to sell off there. So it's just adding things together. All right, you can see we actually have pulled back, nice pullback from that last sell signal. We've gotten oversold here. It's not a bad pullback. Again, we should get an alert here soon, possibly a 1-minute alert on a buy signal. We decide we're going to do that. Remember, we talked about that 5-minute rotation, which I think helps with the pullback there, and that 20-period moving average was key also. All right, so we just got a 1-minute buy signal. It looks like a pretty decent one, so we're going to throw the order in here fast. I want to bring up the DOM. We're just going to buy market right here fast. And I want to adjust this. Let me see what the stop would be. Would be that candle right there. We'll call it 89. Oh, you know what? We're actually, I still had this on. Actually, I still had this on the June contract. I didn't switch the DOM over to the September contract, so it's weird now. So we'll just let this basically 89. It's probably just a 1 point stop on that. So we'll move it up here to 98. If I could even do that. Jesus. Remember, we could also look at the, so you can see the profit gain up here. And I have it set for 3 ticks. Now you can see the potential divergence here. A little turn here. We got that signal. We'll see if we get our 3 ticks on it. Pushed up against the 20, up against the 200. Starting to cross up, so it kind of confirms that setup. So it should get up there, no problem. If we take a look at the chart trader also, you'll see that on the chart trader, it automatically shows your trade where it's at right now. It has the profit, sell profit, and has the stop, and it's much easier now to to drag that stop around. So I want to grab that. Oh, it actually hit our target, so just hit our target. And one down. So nice little setup, nice little pop. You understand why we did that. You know, you put your stop right into the right under the low of that pivot area. We'll mark that down with a circle just so we can go back. If you're doing your research, you also understand that you had a couple things here which we call a high probability setup. One is that lower trend line. The second is that kind of a reversal candle. And now we had that very visible divergence here. So again, 3 ticks here took us out. And we just wait now for the next setup. Now, with this divergence, we always say the divergence is, if you see a divergence inside of a channel, that usually represents a channel breakout. Now, I'm not seeing any big channel, but we could consider this a channel channel breakout and a little pullback. And that little pullback maybe has a tight enough feel to it that we could actually consider that a small little channel. And then if that was, that actually we did break through that little range bound pullback. So effectively it did trigger. And remember, 1 minute time frames is hit and run. It's really it's the fastest type of trading we do, and you have to stick to your rules. If you don't stick to your rules, you end up just missing an opportunity, and it just goes out the window. All right, just another look here. We're still kind of grinding high. We actually made it up to 91.75. Chopping around, continue to just kind of grind higher off of that trend line. Perfect setup, you know, just a classic thing. It's a channel retracement, dual trend lines, a divergence. It was perfect, you know. It's just what we want to do. And we put ourselves in that position where we have to make money. You just want to continue to try to hold out for those setups. Anything else is kind of gambling. It would be great to be able to go anywhere in the world, wait for your setup, take that trade, and then go enjoy the day. That's the mindset you have to be in. You know, so much discipline involved. All right, the other thing we want to do is just to kind of fix the, I got to fix my contract so it lines up properly. And I also want to add a couple indicators on here. So we're going to go up to this tab right now. Normally if you go over it should come up and tell you what it is. I was messing around with it before, but it is indicator. So click on that, it pulls down. There it is. You see that little thing. So click on that. We're going to go probably to oscillators, stochastics, and then we want to kind of adjust this. I'm going to have to look into this. Here's your period. So I'm actually going to bring that to a 9.3. Smoothing, nothing. That's good. Line. See what that looks like. All right, let me see. So I'm still messing around with the Apex Trader demo a little bit more here, and just because I had to switch over the quotes, so I figured out how to do that. You go down here, you put in your, you bring up this, you put in the symbol, so the ES, and we're going to go out to the U contract, which is the forward contract right now. September, so we click on that and then it shows up in your quote box, and then you could open up your chart from that, ESU6, and then you could just actually open up a chart. You could open up a DOM, and that's what I did. I changed the DOM over here now. It is set up for September, and you can see the September contract here trading at 90.75. That's where we are right now, 90.75. Now the pullback here is interesting because we kind of coiled up. This is what we call a coil stochastic. Coil stochastics is kind of a series of lower lows, or depending on what we're looking at here. In this case, it's a pullback, so we kind of get that coil down here. Lots of times that coil come in like a series of lower lows and lower highs, just like a downward wedge pattern, and it typically works out the same. It's not the same as a divergence, but we usually look at this as a potential setup. I'm not always excited about it. I love it this to set up as a divergence. A divergence is a much better setup, which we had back here. Here is just kind of a coil channel, and typically the coil, the compressed momentum here breaks out, and this breaks out at the same time. I don't think that is a good opportunity here right now, but I would wait for that next divergence. That's our go-to trade, so we're waiting for that right now. Here's what the chart looks like now. I kind of adjusted the stochastics a bit. It's a little choppy. I think I do like the stochastics on my MedVeg trader. I have those set up perfectly, but this is pretty good right now, and it almost giving us the appearance of a divergence here on this. But you can see and this is on the 1 minute chart, but you can actually see here. Yeah, you can see basically the same thing. Possible divergence right here. We haven't gotten that signal yet. And there's other tools on this, so I'm just kind of running through that. Your indicator, you just pull that down, and you have different things. You even have samples. You could try out different things. Moving averages. You put all your moving averages in. I haven't put everything on the chart yet. I'll do that as the day goes on. But we do have the stochastics and the volume on there. See if we can make that volume a little smaller here. Still have to work on learning some of the platforms. Ins and outs of the platform here. There we go. Maybe that's it. And one thing you have to be careful of is you're messing around the chart and you're in chart mode. And I did this before. Luckily, I got right out for it, a quarter tick profit, but I didn't mean to. What I was doing is clicking on it to see what, if you right click or left click and you're in chart mode, it automatically is going to place that order. So if you happen to just place an order right around that, you're going to get entered. Be very careful on that. You have to learn the hard way usually on those. And I do believe this button right here, the trade mode, you click on that, and that'll take you out of trade mode. So this little mouse button here, click on it, puts you in trade mode. When you have this over here, that means anything that you do on your chart, you're going to set orders. You're going to set orders according to what your bracket is on your DOM. So I'm going to get rid of that right there for a second. Go back to our other chart here, and you can see the coil stochastic. It does look like a little divergence happening right now. So let's take that setup as a divergence setup. Try to bring that back up here. I want to buy market fast there. Understand that our low would be about 2089.50. It's a very tight stop. So let's bring up the chart now, and you probably see that chart right here has the order in it. So we have our profit zone, 28.90.50. I can move this up. Remember, you have to go over to the left-hand corner here. You'll see a little arrow, and you could drag this stop wherever you want it. I think that's a little bit easier. You click on that right there. Supposed to click on it right there. Oh, God. What did I do? No. I don't know if I'm doing something again. Let me double check this. Oh, market there breaking back down a little. Let's go. And that candle, right now we're starting to see that candle. Remember, we have about 24 seconds left. Watch this candle. Even if you're looking at that entry, if you end up getting this nice candle, the divergence holds up, your stop would have to go under that. Even though it does look a little weak here, we'll see what the candle looks like. 10 seconds left. Remember, that candle really represents that reversal of that tail. We'd like to have it twice as long as the body. So the bigger the tail, the better. And I would say that qualifies.
1 minute buy signal.
And you just saw that we had a 1 minute buy signal there too. So everything here just kind of working out with the RamBot here, kind of giving you a little confidence in that possible trade setup now. Now, if we could move this stop, which I'm trying to move that stop up a little, just push it right under that candle. Let's see if I can get rid of that. I have no idea why it's giving me an issue. All right, here's your profit zone up here. Let me see if I can do it this way. So I would bring it right up to a 88 3/4. Right there. So we can move it up there. There it is. Much better. So beautiful candle. Everything looks good on this. Now, what you have to, this is an important fact right here. If you get a fast rotation here and it pushes back up to 80 very quickly, you don't get a big move. You have to respect that and say that rally is not what it's meant to be. And that rotation, that fast rotation, we're going to look on the other chart too, is giving us a signal. And that signal is, be careful, this can actually turn over. Hasn't gotten up there in overbought levels yet, but I want to just double check on the other chart here. Oh, not that chart. I got so much going on now. I apologize. Let me see. Yeah, so we're at 50 here. I like these stochastics. Mine on the Apex Trader is a little faster, but I want to find out why that is and get back to fixing that issue. Because this, gives us that nice divergence, gives us the wedge pattern. Typically, this works out. You have to put that stop underneath that, and you have to just go with this trade. Until this gets up to 80. If it doesn't seem to be moving out of this pattern, at least holding underneath the 20 period moving average still, and we get a rotation, I'm going to take it off no matter what it has. Going for it. At this point, I would probably bring out the crickets with a cricket call. And the traders go wild. Also learned how to undock some of my the stuff on the platform. So we have this undocked the I think this gives us our position, our current position. This is what we've done already today, and the one in green here is our current position. Did I sell two already? What is this? No, this was our last trade, actually. So it's now we're getting closer and closer to that 80 mark, and again we're still holding underneath that 20 period moving average. So maybe we get a little pop here, but either way, we want to soon be careful for that rotation back. So we get our last pop here. $50. And we're right up against 80 here. So I'm going to take this off. And we're out of that. And even though it does look like it could pop a little bit further, we did take it off just on a strict rule. Oh, wait a second. Just went short. Hold on. Exit and cancel all. All right. All right. So we got 50 on that. I get used to the style of this. I'm so much, I'm used to the other bracket trader that I use. Now we would also look at this point, and that's what we call the rockstar effect right there. Another thing we want to pay attention to right here is the cash, and if we had any alerts. So 11:51 we had a buy signal. And don't forget we have to mark those down, kind of help you out there if you're watching the show. You can see that was a perfect buy signal. And we watched that. We took, we understood that that was an important area. You could place your stop right underneath that, take that trade, get your trade, and move on out. It did pop a little bit further. It still looks pretty good. Let's see what that registered as. Pattern still looks key. Very organized trade today on a Friday. And we're kind of doing this special video today because we knew we had to let this market here play out today before we could actually start looking at HPS setups. I want to get a good feel, let the market here adjust, let some of the indicators adjust. Even if we have a down day, we had to let everything pull back. We got to get those oscillators giving us a better signal. There was definitely a buy bias going into the week, and as we end the week, it's we are getting that pullback. We took profits on our shorts from last night or yesterday. Did take profits down here, and I'm very happy to say we got out pretty much right on the lows, and now we're chopping around. But we have to see how this market ends. So we're going to actually kind of focus a little bit more on the
1 minute sell signal.
Little platform stuff here. We look back at this channel. I just put in a couple trend lines, and that last area of entry where we got in here off of this reversal candle. Come on. Really did point out a lower channel line. So this was a good level, even if you actually recognize this 1, 2, 3 channel, and then we're able to almost kind of buy into that lower trend line, you would have had a fantastic entry. Doesn't really matter though, because that reversal candle, the divergence, and the recognizable pattern gave us the breakout of this channel. The channel breakout with the stochastic divergence is unbeatable. We haven't seen one that really failed yet. So we got through that. Now we're extended, and again we did have a sell signal at 11:59. It's already 12 o'clock lunchtime, and I'm doing this special video for you. We're trying to make $500 using the Apex Trader platform, and trading 1 to 2 contracts. It's been 2 contracts, but I was actually I might move it down to 1 and see what we could do with that. I'm having it might be a little the video might be a little not flowing as much as I wanted to, because I'm working through learning the platform, and there's some things that I'm not familiar with, some of the buttons, some of the where to find some of the things, some of the mistakes could be made. All right, so let's go back here to that level here, and we could actually mark this off here as a sell side indicator. 11:59 came in somewhere right in here, and a little pullback off of that. Nothing really good. It wasn't a visual divergence. It's what we call a mathematical divergence, where the RamBot here recognizes the change of price and the momentum shift, gives us that divergence, and you get that alert. Most of the time you'll see a reaction from it. It doesn't mean it's going to be a big one, but in this case you can see that rotation back down, a nice rotation. Everything here buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. All right, well, we continue to wait for our next setup. Our last setup was the sell signal. You can see a nice drop here. And, you know, what I'm picking up right now is that potential divergence right here. We kind of pushed a little bit higher. We started moving up here on our stochastics, and then we kind of flushed it out. And that's typically what we see as the divergence sets up. We don't get that rotation on the stochastics. Actually, to see the stochastics did not really rotate back down, even though we took out the lows. We're holding above that 20 line, and that's interesting. It seems a little bit shaky. We're actually watching CF Industries here. CF Industries on the move. Not that it's going to help you right now, but we're in this because it was a divergence setup, and it's actually starting to move here. Pretty aggressive move here. Big volume coming into it right now. And this, again, like I said, we could have a possible divergence here. Not taking this yet. Want to see a good divergence. Want to feel a little bit better about the trend. Right now it looks like our 5-minute time frame. If we go out to that, double check that, SPX here. You know, hourly here kind of rolled over. The 5-minute here kind of rolled over. It looks a little weaker. You remember the overall game is to be on the winning side. You know, right now it looks like the bears are in control in this bounce. Still holding underneath that 20-period moving average. We might sink a little bit lower before we bounce or get another opportunity on a long here. All right, we just did have that RamBot buy signal. Now it's a tough one, but I want to go with it. I want to just buy the market right there. We're going to take that setup. I think it's a little bit more difficult one. I took it on the RamBot, just the signal. We're seeing it start to cross up. It's not 100%. I might even keep this real tight. We maybe get a couple ticks on this would be fantastic. So let's move this down a little. And let's see how far we go on this. 25. You see a clear divergence. I think it's okay. Oh, did we get out? Yeah, we got out. Nope, we didn't get out. Just push this back down here. Hello. I don't want to give back too much of the profits on this, so we have to actually keep our stop pretty tight here. So I want to move that right under 88. 87. 75. We'll keep a tight one on that one. It's a pretty decent candle. But whenever we see that retracement trend line, that looks so good for a retracement down here. And I tend to, all right, balls along here, 88.50 now. It is a little bit dangerous here for 87. And the recent lows right here. It does look weak. All right, so it did take us out on that. And that's part of the, using a little trader's intuition here. Now we have a better candle right now, and we continue to hold that divergence. So you know what? I want to jump back in here real fast. Put that stop under at 87. So, we held that divergence pretty good. And we kind of put in a good candle there. Tough one here because it is getting close to the lows here.
takes long 87.75. And we're right there at 87 channel. Just take a look here real quick.
It's like a little running divergence. Lows are right underneath us. Probably get back up to 88 here. See some people in the room here taking these longs here, 87.75. Someone long here. Pause, long. Another thing to pay attention to, sometimes you get very close to a low, and a lot of people expect that, but they don't realize there's a retracement trend line. So we get very close, people short thinking we're going to actually take out those lows, and the next thing we bounce. And look where we're bouncing right here. Not that we got a full bounce right now, but this is typically one of these imaginary lines, and not a lot of traders pay attention. It's a big retracement, but we hit it once, we're hitting it the second time. So we could easily get a nice bounce back up before actually retesting the lows. So we're back up to 88 here. Seeing the new lows on the day, though, and that's something that's kind of concerning also, because new lows on the day on some stocks here, they seem to be rolling over. The momentum here possibly picking up to the downside. And we're also at 12:30 here, so day's moving on. Oh my me, I'm just trying to get my chart back up here. And I forgot I was going to do one contract on this also, but I still on two, so it could put a little pain on this trade. Yep, and it just stopped us out.
Low tick alert.
Well, we're up 300 now. We're up only 87. With 3 hours to go, we need to make $500. There's a little trend line there. We actually have a nice double bottom right underneath us. Looking at this chart, the S&P 500, how we cross back down. Double bottoms are good. This is kind of the right amount of time you want to see. That bounce up to the 20, a rollover, a retest of the lows. We should get a decent bounce off this, and this could actually set up for the next trade. So we have a chance of either spiking down a little bit below that or kind of holding that double bottom. And we're right, very close to a double bottom here on the ES. So everything will come into play right there if we do tag that. Actually got my DOM up here in case I want to take it live. There might be some good setups actually approaching. Lows of the session. Oh, I got actually going to turn this over to different contract too. I'm going to mess up and let me get that set up here fast. All right, so here we did take out those lows there, so we oversold on that 5 minute. The hourly here actually coming back into an oversold level, and you can see a lower trend line there, playing out a bigger lower trend line. If we actually end up getting down there, that would also be a key level to watch. We have a lot better setup here. We also have a lower trend line. A small lower trend line here based off of a couple pivot areas. A decent little bounce right now. Not a setup that we would take, but there should be one coming up soon. Again, I see alert just came through here, and you can start to see that divergence. We got a little pop up. It's actually starting to pull back off the 200. We're already given back, some. I mean, if you chase this right here, you might not, get the best fill. It would be very choppy, but it definitely looks like a possible divergence setting up here against the 200 period moving average. We had that RamBot alert coming at 106, so right up here against the 200, and we've been pulling back from that zone here. I want to put it in there. Stop would go at 89.75, which is nice right there. We didn't have any with the RamBot, we didn't have any tradeometer sell signals. I was looking forward to having one to line up for the next short, because when we get a tradeometer sell signal and a RamBot, the odds are really good. Well, we haven't seen a sell signal yet. Not too many signals on the tradeometer today.
Stop was at 89.75. That's about 10.
Paul gets out. I'm going to get out too at the same point here. And there we are. We're out. So that was a nice sell signal there. Came in right up here. I even got a late entry on that. Bring this up to 187 again. And that brings us down to about 3 hours to go. Plenty of time to hit our target today. Now you see how fast that popped back up. That is key on that 1 minute. You know, the chop here, you get the signal, you have to get your profit, and then don't worry about wait for the next signal. As you can see, it could get kind of choppy and frustrating if you're not taking what you have. That's why I like the brackets. It automatically kind of puts you in a position where your hands off. You're almost forced to take the profits off of that. Now we just got our first tradeometer set up here, and we're going to go look at this. We're not in no rush here, but I want to point it out to you what it kind of looks like. I have to bring up the tradeometer. I'm going to move this over to it. You can see actually it's, where is it? I thought I just had a trigger here. Oh, we had one on the NASDAQ. That's what I'm looking at. We did have one on the ES that, there it is. I was wondering where it was. Took a second to trigger there. That red dot here representing our overbought or our sell signal. You can see our last buy signal here in the NQ. Things are looking pretty good on that. And again, if we're going to take that, I like the combination there. There's always a good combination when we look at the combination between the RamBot and the and that setup there. So let's put in that short there, sell market short. Let's see. Let's actually wait here a second. We're at the 200. I typically like this, but I want to be a little bit more careful. I don't see any visual divergence yet, so I'm going to give this a second to play out a little bit better. Got a feel for it. You know, right up against the 200s. The chances are of this, you know, having a hard time getting through that 200 is good. I mean, it actually does. But we're not seeing any type of reversal candle that's going to trigger a stop for us. I mean, we could even push a little bit higher. I'd rather see that like we had back here, when we had over here. But we are getting that sell signal and a combination sell signal too. Oh, what the heck? We got to step up here. The stop will be above. We'll make that stop above 90.50. All right. Let's take a look at that 5-minute chart also. You can already hear it starting to come back down now. That's good. Oh, come on, move this. SPX. Yeah, the 5 minutes set up pretty good. So we had a nice rotation, but not a big move on the 5 minute. Once we get not a big move on the 5 minutes, it's a little embedded there, which is a sign of strength. But let's let this play out here.
RamBot 5-minute sell signal.
Now, I don't know if you heard that, but you had a 5-minute sell signal now coming into play. And you can see we're slowly moving up on the profits here. There we go. Bingo. And that 5-minute sell signal right there, a much nicer one. I got to get some audio alerts in there so we're actually you could hear the profit signal in the thing. I don't know, that's not set up on any alerts yet, but we just got out of that. And that again, another Nice signal there. Brings us up to 287. And that's just using 2 cars so far and just 3 ticks. See what else. I'll fill the orders here. Now, if we go back here and take a look at that last area that we talked about, taking that short, and why it was a good short, the ES Tradeometer, you know, there wasn't many sell signals today. That was pretty much the only one. And we had it. It was perfect. Now, we just had a buy signal. So let's, the market is trading there at the close of the session. Be careful on a possible flush here. So we're right back down to the lows, and the possibility of a little divergence here playing out too. So we got to be, you know, whenever you get down to the lows, it's a little bit trickier. I like trading these setups in a, you know, recognizable pattern, an HPS zone, not just because we're selling off and we're, you know, if we're selling off, we're on support. We could break through that. We could get flushes. The market is definitely pointing down today. It feels weaker going into the latter half of the day here. But that 5-minute sell signal was a gem. And if we go back here one more time and take a look at the dashboard, find the dashboard here. We'll take a look at that 5-minute sell signal that came in right here. Now I'm just going to get rid of the 1-minute signal. Just take a look. There was only one sell signal today. This one was from yesterday, June 9th. So you can see there's only one 5-minute signal. That was a sell signal that happened right up against 2089 at 1:30 on the dot. So right here. Nice sell signal. Look at that. Tradeometer. Now here we have a retracement trend line. Now again, with a buy signal, retracement trend line typically is good. It's not a divergence setup. We don't have any 141 actually. 141 that was right over here. We actually had a little buy signal with a little pop, not much of one. But this is a dangerous area. I mean, there is a retracement trend line. But there's no divergence set up right now on that. But a decent, you know, again, a decent bounce area. We're going to play it safe at this point because it looks like we are going to flush a little bit more. All right, so back here we do, and again, I think we're going to set ourselves up. We have a nice reversal candle. 14 seconds left in this candle. It looks like a possible divergence setting up here. We haven't got the crossover yet, but we have the half of that formula playing out. So I want to take a shot on this, putting that up here by the market right there. And that low of the day, we're just going to put the stop right under the low of the day. Right there. We've got a 3-tick. Now we, you know, this is a, hasn't confirmed the divergence. We haven't gotten the confirmation here. It's about 203. Actually have a little divergence. Well, you can start to see it right here. And there it is. Fast little pop, get the divergence. That's actually a good setup here. I'm going to move this down to one contract. I want to buy this market again at this level with a stop at the lows again. So we're taking another trade on this. I think we're going to go a little higher. See, we have the 50 period moving up here at 85. We have that trend line. We'll leave it again. We'll try to kind of squeeze one out here. There's lows on D on CSX, and there's a couple lows on the day. It's concerning. I mean, this is outside we are seeing that divergence. So I haven't set up the two-stage bracket here. So basically, it would be a good technique here to take two contracts, take one off, move the stop up to break even. In this case, we're going to just take one contract now, try to hold on to that divergence, put that stop at that same level. And let's take a look at the cash chart here. All right, take a look at that cash chart.
Low tick alert.
And a low tick alert coming in here. That's not a good sign. Might get stopped out of this real fast. This market here starting to sell off. We're right at the lows. I think we just did. I think I am. No, we're still hanging in there. Divergence is there. So what we're doing is looking at the cash chart here. So the 5-minute not giving us much here. It's just oversold. I mean, it is oversold. We could get a little bounce, but it's more embedded here. There's a better trend line underneath us. It goes back down here. Much, probably another 2 to 3 points below us is that underlying trend line. Seeing some lows of the session here coming across. Alexiana, Amgen, drug stocks here pulling back. It's going to put a little weakness on the Nasdaq, which is looks like it's leading us lower. Right. So yeah, that did not work out.
Low tick alert.
And we did not take a big risk on that. Keeping us up about 287 on the day. Well, here we are now. Now another decision. Instead of seeing that visual, now we actually got the alert here. The alert just came across as a RamBot down here. But the market is in a sell bias right now. So again, it's always better to be with the trade. We're going to mark it off. I want to see if we actually cross back up here. Seeing a lot new red on the screen here. FireEye, Alexion, Agilent, Dean Foods. So, seeing that red, lots of red on the screen, so expecting this maybe to go a little bit lower. We haven't seen that real good confirmation yet. We need to turn back up here if we're going to see that confirmation. Take a look at that 5-minute time frame one more time. And again, just this video today is just kind of a walk through the markets using the Apex Trader platform, and you can download that at apextrader.com. And we use it for the futures, and it's also, we have a link on the dashboard. It's the lower right hand corner. I'll bring you right to the download link. I really like that lower trend line here. Divergence is trying to hold up here pretty good. All right, just waiting to see. Can we have that signal? Right here at 81. We're starting to bounce back up here now. I might miss this one. I might not take this. This is the condition of the markets. Remember, we have a goal set for today, and it's already, wow, it's only we have an hour and 46 minutes to go in the day. There's that bounce. All right, we're close enough to this lower trend line that we actually could get a nice bounce. There's a risky trade here, but probably worth taking. We have a good trend line right underneath us. We had we just had a 5-minute alert here. Ooh, this is tough. I'm going to go with it. Let's take a look here. To 5-minute. See what we can do with this a little. I want to be a little bit more liberal on the stop. Normally, we want to keep it into a very strict methodology and a criteria of stop at the lows and stuff. But if we take a look here, I only took one contract here too, so probably didn't get on the bottom. Definitely didn't do that. But you can see this underlying trend line. It might even be a little bit below us, according to that candle back there. But we've been embedded, and a lot of times, we'll get a bounce before that level. So we're oversold on the hourly. That's a positive in our book. Hourly has been textbook. This pullback has been, decent. And we're coming down to that trend line. Are we going to hit it perfectly? Probably not. Let's see if we actually hit our target already. I didn't even adjust anything. I only have one contract here on. Because I like to see a divergence play out there. I like to see like a little pop here. And if we do drop, by telling by the rotation, how fast this rotates up, how far we get on that. If we do drop back down, good shot that we actually make that divergence into that trend line and we actually have a nice end of the day ramp up. So let's see if we can actually get all that to play out. Now you're gonna get this video after the fact. Hopefully it's helping you with something. It might be just a big waste of time, and I'm spending a lot of time on it, and I'm kind of not doing that much research because I wanted to let this market here pull back. If it wanted to pull back, we wanted to let some new divergences set up, and we know we've been on top of those. So here we go. Let's see if we get a bigger move here. We already threw that 20-period moving average, which is a great sign. And you can hear the pressure coming in, but you see what happened? We just got overbought on the on that fast rotation. So it's really, all right, we just took profit. No, we didn't take profits, actually. The order's up there. See how fast you had a profit, and then, you know what, it could come right back, especially now that we're extended there. So the best thing to do, actually, I think, is to kind of exit, cancel the trade and exit, or, you know, maybe even get out with 1250 on this. Because that, you know, that's the hard part of trading. That is the extremely hard part of trading here. Let's see if they can take us out here at 1250. All right, good. So, you know, I'm trying to do that, to establish some rules, even though that's a 5-minute, which, you know, that's me hitting my head. Always remember, the option of keeping it here is always because of the 5-minute setup. And this is a 5-minute setup. So this actually could have given us a little bit more leeway instead of being too concerned with this. I think I'm more concerned of the challenge today of, you know, getting to that $500 mark, and we only have about an hour and a half to do that. So right then, brings us up to 287.50. We're only using 1 to 2 contracts, and we're testing out the Apex Trader platform. Apex Trader, you can go to apextrader.com. And they also have that. We are also going over the chart trader too. Now you can see a little different setup here, just a different chart. This is the one you get with the Apex Trader. That's it right there. And it's Apex Futures. I'm going to tell you, they better grab both of those domain names if I'm going to mention Apex Trader and Apex Futures. It's apexfutures.com. All right, so what did we do there? We took that off, and all of a sudden you're starting to see this rotate back down, which you feel better, even though it's a 5-minute setup. I'd love to see a little rally on that 5-minute, but you know, that's still that 5-minute rally will probably push this higher. It's just that 1 minute is going to control this short little pullback right here, a little short little pullback, and see if we actually again, another case here. We're already planning out the trades. What happens if we came back here real fast and set up as a divergence, and we actually hit that trend line? My guess, that 5 minutes is a very strong signal. So this 1 minute might give us a little consolidation, but soon after we're going to move higher off of that 5 minute. All right, we're going to move that back up to two contracts. Actually, if I take this flag and I go with that 5 minute, then maybe I'll just take that one contract. That's a different type of setup. Almost prefer to see a divergence here, but the time is running out on that. I also take in consideration the time of day. You know, if we start making new lows going into that last hour, it's not usually a good sign for the end of the day. We could start bottoming out now, make a fast low, and start to grind up before that last hour. Then I'm liking that a lot better. All right, as you can see, we did bounce back up here off of that little pullback. And, you know, visually there was probably a little divergence there, not much of one. But, you know, the big picture, I think, going back on the cash chart is the underlying trend line, which we're very close to tagging. This is a 5 minute time frame. So very nice setup. You know, it's hit and miss sometimes if you get right on the trend line or you start to see a signal right before it. I wanted to see how it was going to play out. It did play out to the upside. Right now we're pushed up against that trend line, which still holds a good level. This is a good short level here. Remember that 5-minute time frame here, starting to turn back up. We still have momentum to the upside, and at least off the bottom for now. But with the pressure in this market, any type of resistance, any type of level that could hold us back on a very negative day will probably act well doing that. I just stepped away from the computer for a second. It came back, and we were talking about this trend line and how it probably is going to set up properly and pull back. But we even had a slight visual divergence here, and that was something that didn't qualify as a what we call like kind of a Class A or 3-star divergence, where we have that push above the AD and then a failure to get back above it, but new highs. We do have that new highs and the lower high. So divergence there, you could see it. This even has the characteristics of a little bearish flag going into the into the last hour. So that trend line's holding up pretty good, but I wouldn't, I'm not liking this area yet. Even though that trend line divergence probably could have been taken, should have probably been taken. Well, back here with you, and you can say we continue with the bounce, and needless to say, I forgot to mention there was a 5-minute RamBot signal at 3:20, which I did not notice. So that is an important signal, and let me get that in there. And we've crossed over the last hour of the trade, and coming up to 3:30. I had to eat lunch. That's what I was doing. I was so hungry, and it's almost like 4 o'clock. Well, almost 4 o'clock, and I haven't eaten lunch. So I took a break to eat some lunch, and now you can see that 5-minute actually starting to move back up. I hope we get our goal. Normally, I would say I shy away from trading the last half an hour. Let's take a look at that 5-minute setup, though. This is the 5-minute setup. And yeah, it's called a double bottom divergence. This is actually a very nice divergence. This is the one we were looking for, and I mentioned that before. It would be better to get the divergence into this. That is a nice divergence right there. We're going to have to take a shot on that, I think. Just on that 5-minute time frame. It's a tough one. It is a very tough one, I think. We also have the 2 o'clock 200 set up here. If we haven't tagged the 200 period moving average today, we tend to do that. We actually did test it right around 115 to 130, and now we are starting to move back up here. So let's see if this is going to play out. This is basically a 5-minute setup, and the stop right now would just be I don't want to make it too big of a stop here. I want to see this 5-minute play out, so probably 81-ish. And we're back on the 2 contracts. So we have our finger on the trigger at all times. I mean, $50, we could take $50 right there. 5-minute time frame is strong when the force is with us. And you get nickel and dime it too. I'm almost considering to bring it down to 2 ticks. There we go. Nice pop here, taking us out of the trade, and a nice push to the 200 period moving average. So that was good. It worked out just as we hoped it would be working out. But most of them are. If we look back at the trades today, now we're up to here, 362, $150 away from our target, and I didn't get crazy today. We were into hyper scalping. We're dealing with a pretty decent platform, the Apex Trader, using the DOM, using the combination, the DOM and the chart trader. I haven't showed you too much of the chart trader today. I'm just learning about the whole platform myself. You can download it at apexfutures.com. It's a simulator, so you could use the use some of the strategies to test your thing. Then you could fund the account and then trade the same way. So they get you know, they let you use the platform, test it out, see if it's good for you. So that's where we are right now, and it's actually a little sell divergence on the 1 minute time frame. You can see that right over here in a series of lower highs and a higher high. But again, we have that 5 minute on your side, and in this case, you're not seeing. This is what I was a little concerned about. You know, I prefer to take my signals off of my stochastics here. The ones on the other ones, I'm going to have to talk to the people over there and see if there's what the difference is. But anyway, we're just wait for that next setup here. 5 minute setup. It was perfect. Very nice 5 minute setup. And I haven't gone into stocks too much today in the research part. I'm going to try to do that right after the market. This video is running about an hour and 30 minutes now. I'm going to try to condense it a little by editing out the the quiet zones. But everything else you've seen here is just, I wanted to walk us through the market, every setup, mostly taking those on the RamBot and just visual divergences and showing you how, just how to stay within that criteria and what it could do for you. Look how we're holding right on that 200 period moving average. Just interesting to see how that 200 period moving average just like holding us back like a dam right now. You might have an argument for kind of a double top divergence here, even though we didn't really pull back too much. We just continue to hold that top there, and yet the stochastics here starting to fail to make new highs, or at least equal highs. So that's that's a negative signal right there. And again, from that point, you would pull back like that. All right, an interesting fact here. We take a look back here at the dashboard today, and I just filtered out the 1 minute, so we only have the 5 minute setups. And there was only this one down here is from yesterday, so you only had really 3 5 minute alerts, and I marked them off on the chart. You had 1 sell and 2 buys, and they're in the dark circles. So that 1 sell, we actually took a trade off of that. And you can see 5 minutes always give you the biggest moves. So that was a nice 5 minute pullback. When we had our 1 minute, or excuse me, a 5 minute buy signal, we actually had this nice little grind up here and then eventually pulled back and gave us another signal. We had a nice little move. So, I mean, there's not many upside moves today. There was a tradeometer sell signal right up here also, which combined with this one, what made it great. But you can see, right now the buy signals are back. This is actually looking a little bullish right now. Normally I would look at this if I was going to take that trade and look at it for a pop out of here. But I've been so disciplined on the divergences that I really want to use this platform just to trade divergences to get that, just to get that discipline really worked into the process and just stick to something that works so well. This is what I call flag setup, though. We use 3 stochastic flag setups. The slow and the medium usually stay embedded, and this one starts to pull back. If these two stay embedded, meaning holding above 80, and this one rotates down, gets closer and closer to 20, this is typically a strong setup. And the only thing I would say negative about this is that we have the 15-minute time frame. 15 minutes left in the day. 15 minutes left in the day here. So that's the only thing that's a negative on that. But as you can see, the market here is starting to push up out of this. I don't know if I'm going to take another trade today, being 15 minutes. I don't think we're going to get any other divergences. But the next thing I have to do is actually get that watch list going. It's probably not going to be big because of this. This video took off all the day, the whole day. But I am going to definitely put my time in here and bring us anything that is worthy of the list. Nice little pop, nice little flag setup, and another technique that we could, you can apply that. You can take these techniques, any of the playbook techniques, and apply these to any of the trades. And this was one of them right there. Triple stochastic flag setup. Disney here starting to push back up. That'll be on the watch list probably for next week. Some other ones I already written down. PX here having a pretty decent day today. We got up above 114, and that's looking okay. But look at a nice little pop here, and that 5 minute here showing its true colors once again. Flag setup, true colors. If you have any questions or anything on the methodology, please, follow up. Send me a note. You can send it on. I guess on the. It's always better to send it through my email, ironaction@yahoo.com, than through YouTube. I have so much out there on YouTube, and there's so much spam out there. I don't even sometimes look at the comments, but I do appreciate them. I do try to scan through them once a month, answer what I can. Well, we're coming to the end of the day, and I didn't finish up on any trades. It's just because perfect practice makes perfect. If I was going to gamble and try to hit my goal, then I probably would have who knows what would happen. I might have gotten it, but it would kind of messed up the strategy. It would have messed up the test we want to always continue, experimenting with, how to make ourselves better. So we can't really stay away from it too much and gamble because it just doesn't work that way. Just a recap then. All right, so we're going to wrap things up here and take a look back here at the tradeometer. You see early morning, it actually goes back, it doesn't go back all the way, so just right after the open. First buy signal came in around 10, it was perfect. A nice sell signal came in there. We had a buy signal and a small bounce with a failure, and then we kind of chopped around, drifted sideways until we got that sell signal and then dropped off pretty hard. And I remember in this area, this was actually one of the trades I think that I lost on, and it felt a little funky at that point, and we kind of blew through it. It wasn't a bad setup. It just didn't work out. We had the alert. We had I do believe we even had a RamBot alert here, but the selling was too strong. We pushed down through that. We let the market kind of get back into a rhythm. We had a great signal here, a 5 minute signal, and it was off to the races. And then on the climb up here, there was actually some little sell signals, just like there is on the 1 minute time frame. A little pullback, then a pop, and a little, right at the close, we kind of got a trigger here. And the same thing pretty much across the board on the NASDAQ and the YM. The bias was definitely down today. And the RamBot, like I said earlier, the 5 minute time frame that was the best. And, that's a decision you have to make. It's not going to be the most active day, but it's going to be profitable, and that's another key thing that we have to always talk about, is that profitable combination of waiting for your trade and executing it, and then getting out. The discipline is as much discipline getting out as getting in, and I consider it more. You need more discipline to get out and take those profits, especially if you see a signal and telling you, all right, this is maybe as far as it's going to go. And again, 5 minute time frames, it all comes together after a while. You do this long enough, you start to see how it works, and you understand there's only one way to do things. Things are going to give you the best odds and the best results. So you continue to wait for those. Simple as that, and that's what we're doing. So that was a little run through. Again, the Apex Trader, which is at Apex Futures, apexfutures.com, or use the link on the dashboard, lower right-hand corner, Apex. Download the platform, check it out, test it out. Use the RamBot, use the tradeometer. Going forward from this point on, I could tell you my key trade will always be, that tradeometer RamDot, because we're going to see a divergence, and we're also going to see multiple time frames line up. So that's why the tradeometer and the RamBot combining on the alerts. And when it does happen, it's 95% successful, and that is just a great setup. And they happen. It does happen. I prefer the 5 minute setup. So To make that a little bit better, we want to have a tradeometer signal and a 5-minute setup. So you're probably going to get the 5-minute setup first, and then you're going to glance at the tradeometer, and you're going to see if we have a signal lining up there. We're going to watch that, and I guarantee you 5-minute and the tradeometer is the way to go. Those will be our special trades. We'll have to label those because you'll see me start to announce those, and those are the ones you want to always be ready for. You want to always have some cash around to take that type of trade. We're actually going to assign those a special color too. We'll make those that color when we have a tradeometer and a RamBot, a tradeometer signal and a RamBot 5-minute signal. We'll make those a very special. Maybe we'll make those lime green. All right, that's what that'll mean. Very powerful setup there. Usually I was going to mark off the tops, and there was probably one up here too. That was a tradeometer. And a 5-minute setup. Well, that was a 5-minute setup tradeometer. 130. Perfect. So, all right. So back here, and just and that's going to be about it here. You can see the platform one more time. And again, I want to do this more often. It's very hard sometimes when I'm on the mic, reading the room, answering questions, bringing up stocks, charts, trading, to really concentrate on the ES. But the setups are there, and this is and I'd like to do this more. It'll have to be on this type of environment here, kind of relaxed environment. Not many trades, but enough. We did cancel out a few. It does give you all your details and stuff. I didn't take any chart trades, but mostly the DOM trades, and a decent day. Considering you could use your $500 margin that Apex futures. We were never into anything bigger than two contracts at any point in the day. So $300, $362 here, not a bad take for trading a few hours, and only HPS type of setups here. And I actually made a couple bad ones too. It was like this one where we flushed out, and I got right back in. I probably was, I was hesitant on this because I thought this looks a little dangerous near the lows. We could easily flush, and we flushed, and then went another setup, and we continued to flush. I wonder if I could have, gotten past this and not taking that. I just wanted something. I didn't want to go through the whole day without taking a trade, so I wanted to make sure we were able to take some trades. So that's that, and that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Look for more of these. This has been long, kind of choppy, not really edited well, and I promise I'll try to do a better job going forward. Thank you.